if you had a pet shark, what would you name it?
By the way, everyone, this is Thomas Beard.
Hi, everyone.
I always forget that.
I'm gonna start though. I'm gonna start the icebreaker. So if I had a pet shark, and sticking with my theme, I like to name all our pets. I like to give them people names. I'm assuming this is a pet shark. I would name it.
I think so.
I would name it Anthony Kiedis.
Why?
Strong name.
It is a strong name. But what exactly inspired that?
He's one of my favorite singers.
That's enough.
He's just one of my favorite dudes.
It's more than
love
enough.
him. Yeah, I also had a hamster once named James Taylor.
Thomas, what about you? What would you name a pet shark if you had one?
Sandy.
It makes,
Just straight up Sandy.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Like the sand.
Yeah. Just ordinary shark.
Well, I think I would go with Finn Sharktooth.
Finn Sharktooth.
And that was off the top of my head.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I bet you I'd come up with a better one, but I'm going to go with that.
I don't know, seems like a good name.
Wait,
for
we're
a
talking
shark.
one more.
Okay.
Gray skin. No, it was bad.
Your first one was
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Your first one was better.
So Thomas, you are an amazing cellist. We had the pleasure of hearing you play already because of our sound check. But in case people don't know, how does a cello player get around? What do you do?
How does a cello player get around?
Like, it's a big case. What do you do?
Yeah.
Like a turtle. You just have your shell on your back all the time. No, it's not that bad. I bus a lot between Quebec and Ontario. I live in Montreal right now, but it just becomes part of you. So you get used to it, and it's.
Do you get a little anxious stowing it under the bus, though?
Not anymore. Not anymore. The guys there, I show up and I give it to Steve, and
Oh, you know my name.
Yeah, we're on a first-term basis now, and he says, "I know what to do," and I say, "Yeah, you do," and I just give it to him.
Always trust Steve.
Yeah, he's got
If
it.
you're busting out of Montreal,
You go,
Steve's
Steve.
your guy.
You go, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in a symphony or an orchestra.
I mean, a couple, yeah.
So let's start with that. Which ones?
A couple years ago, I won the principal position of a symphony called L'Orchestre Symphonique de l'Agora, and it's in Montreal. And they're an orchestra that just raises money for humanitarian and environmental causes in and around Quebec.
Cool.
One of the notable ones is Partageons l'Espoir, which is Share the Warmth. And they help underprivileged kids learn music and give them access to instruments and stuff like
awesome,
that.
dude.
Just a fantastic initiative. And so they partner with them, and 80% of their proceeds go towards this organization. As an example of one concert that they do, and there are other organizations as well.
That's
So
super
really,
cool. So how many people would be in that orchestra?
in the orchestra, it ranges depending on the concert. We'll do anywhere from a small septet, so just 7 people, to a full symphony orchestra, which will be 60, 70 people strong.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be such a great experience. Like, what was it like the first time you sat down in the pit? Like, what was it like to actually get in there and just hear that from that perspective for the first time?
Just in any orchestra, it's a phenomenal experience. Just being just in the front of this wall of sound. It's truly remarkable.
Well, it's such a beautiful sound. Like, it really does move you the moment you hear it. Like, the moment you started bowing the strings, I just kind of I start feeling things.
Yeah.
So how many cellos do you have in the? Not I don't mean you physical cellos, but I mean how many cellos in your symphony are there, or in your orchestra?
Again, it ranges, but that one, our most I think we've had was 8. But I have played in orchestras where our max has been 14 or 15.
Holy smokes!
And it's incredible. But
that's awesome. And you kind of work as a hired gun as well, right? Like, you travel around with your cello.
Yeah, I do a lot of
cello will
freelancing.
travel kind of deal.
Yeah, and it's always with me. But I do a lot of freelancing, not just orchestrally, but also with pop and jazz artists as well.
Well, yeah, you were actually just in a show with just a very recent guest of ours and a good friend of mine, Michael Van Hevel.
That's right, yeah. I was playing with the Cambridge Symphony, and we did the crooners. So we did all the stuff from the 40s, 50s.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's such a lovely sound, man. So you have a show coming up as well. You're setting up a show at the Wingham Town Hall?
May 6th, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So what kind of show is that?
we're really excited about this. A few years ago, I went to school at McGill with a friend, Julia Graff, and her mother is Sherry Ulrich, who is this famous folk singer from British Columbia. And we've kept in contact, and we noticed that her tour was bringing her into this area, and we were like, hey, could you maybe squeeze in a trip up to Wingham? Because we have this beautiful theater that they just opened up. They had all the renovations. It's looking amazing. I mean, you've been in.
Oh, I haven't been in since.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Cool. Yeah.
And so she of course said yes, and we're really excited to have her come up on May 6th for just an amazing concert of her music, and
Wow.
With the full symphony?
No, this is her. So she's a guitarist and pianist and singer. She writes all of her songs. Her daughter plays violin and guitar and sings as well. And then they have a bass player from Nashville coming with them as well.
Wow. So when you're preparing for an event like this, if you are a hired gun, do they send you scores ahead of time that you have to kind of go over and learn, or is it just a matter of getting everybody in the room together and you kind of figure out and write?
It depends. So I played with this Juno Award winner, Mike Rudd, jazz guitarist, singer-songwriter, amazing. And he just gave us some charts, and working with the pianist, we just worked through the charts and then just played the gig.
Yeah.
For symphonies and stuff, they give us the music ahead of time, we learn it, and then we all show up and the conductor tells us exactly when to play, essentially. So.
Well, you're an arranger yourself as well, right? Like you do your own arrangements?
I do some arrangements. It's mostly vocal music because I'm not a singer.
Yeah.
And I love to play that music.
Yeah.
Just the harmonies are incredible, like Eric Whitacre, Morton Lorenz, all of these things that just have lush harmonies. So I'm like, thanks. And then I give it to string players and we play them. So.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's really
yeah, it's
cool.
kind of fun.
That's amazing. Is there anything, or people can find you online to see some of this or hear some of the stuff that you've
They can try. As you know, the internet is a bit of a labyrinth. But I have a few things on YouTube, my arrangements and some classical stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you look hard enough, I'm sure you'll find some.
Do you prefer to play classical?
It's what I'm maybe most comfortable with right now. But I do really enjoy the improv and jamming aspect of folk music and pop, and it's really fun.
Yeah. It's good to kind of mix it up a little bit.
I think so.
Every once in a while,
it gets
right?
your ears in a different headspace. So.
Yeah.
Now you've also had the good fortune to collaborate with a lot of artists. Do you have like a favorite like collaboration that like one that just stuck out to you as like this is like a lifelong memory?
Well, probably one of my favorites was it just kind of came out of the blue. A friend of mine plays with this girl named Gabriella, who was on France's version of The Voice.
Oh, cool.
And so they have a traveling show where mostly a quartet of people. And so a friend of mine couldn't do the gig, and he said, hey, like, we used to improv in the subways, busking, whatever, like, do you mind filling in for me? And I said, well, sure, I'd love to.
Yeah.
And it's just a really fun show. The lights, the music, everything, and there's a lot of improv, there's a lot of, chord charts and stuff like that, but the spectacle is just really something cool.
Neat, man.
That's super cool.
France's version of The Voice. How the heck would you even get it in touch? Like, how would you get that gig?
Well, she lives in just outside Montreal now.
Oh, okay.
That's her home. So, but she was on France's version of The Voice. Now she tours around France. She was in Mexico. She was all over the world.
That's amazing. Well.